Hello everybody, Betway's Weighted to Win. We welcome you to the Thursday Vaal Classic track. 8 races that we're getting going around. Updated to let you know that it's about a 9.5 metre false rail. Daryl's just informed me of that, and that's at the 600 metre mark. No up the straight races, so make a note of that spur of 9.5 metres when they come to the 600. The social media element, if you're on X, please join us. There's our handle at Weighted to Win and our WhatsApp number as well, so you can get some of the information if there's late updates and all that sort of stuff. You're always welcome to join. Just send your name and your email address to that and we'll add you to the group. The favourite in the first is 18 to 10. Chris Jonker's got a couple. Daryl fancies both. I think they got chances. And Tony Peters got number 10, Wonder I Do, as the second favourite at 28 to 10. What is race 1? Well, it's a maiden plate. It's over 1450 metres and it's the Betway Inshore Bet. Mr. Marie, bipod time.
Hello, Clyde.
How are you, Mr. Marie?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah, 3 runners in the opening leg. I don't know what to make of this, Clyde. Let's start with number 10. Excuse me, Clyde. Wonder.
Bless you.
Thank you. Wonder I Do.
Yes.
Now you can see she's shown a lot of pace in both of her starts to date.
Yes.
She's got the one draw. She's not going to have to work to get handy. She has been rested. And the connections do like to have a flutter. So all I can sit here and say at this present time is I think the betting is the best guide. Okay. Follow the market and you'll be able to judge for yourself if she's fancied or not.
All right.
She's one of my inclusions. Then I've added both of Chris Jonker's fillies. Number 4, She's a Claver, and number 5, Mocha Macaroon. Now, Mocha Macaroon's very consistent, Clyde. She's knocking at the door. Just got touched off last time out. We're doing this preview on Wednesday morning, and by now we would have known if Courageous franked that form line at Gravel on the poly track on Wednesday. Yeah, but she's thereabouts recently, Clyde. She's going to get it right one of these days. And then I know you're a form lines man. Am I right?
Yeah.
Have a look at She's a Claver. Now, I know she's well exposed and she's had several starts to date, but that form line is power.
Deadly.
The first came out and won again on the horizon. The second, Sunshine Day won. The third, Ariel's Jet won.
Sure.
And who ran fourth?
She's a Claver.
She's a Claver. Go back 3 starts. Over a similar course and distance, if I'm not mistaken. No, the exact same course and distance.
Yeah.
Behind Count Your Chances. I know that was an average field, but on that occasion, Clyde, she was very, very unlucky not to have finished much closer.
Okay.
So 4, 5, and 10 for me.
So she could be a bit of a shrewdy. She's a Claver, you felt. What price is this? 10, 16 to 1 at the moment.
Yeah, 16 to 1.
16 to 1 to win and 3 to 1 a place. Okay. Like that form. That's very good. Bipod from Daryl, here we go. We'll put them all in. 4, 5 and 10 by 1 and 11. Then 2, 6 and 9. The fourth race in the bipod we're going 3, 5 and 7. Then 2, 8 and 10. And the final leg of this perm 1 and 2. Second race is the Betway Tote Rewards Club. It's over a distance of 1,800 metres. We're still in the maidens at the moment. That's where we're at right now. And the one to beat is Mike de Kock's Arabian Red that MK Kachedi's riding. At last start, much better run, ran second to Canford Rose. Daryl did in the bipod go a couple plates accumulators. He tells me he's bankered. He says this should be good enough to run in the first 3. But I suppose you're not too keen on pricing up 7 to 10 about this horse. Well, you wouldn't be taking 7 to 10, would you?
Yeah, Clyde, she's ready to win. Especially in this sort of lineup. She doesn't meet a strong field whatsoever. Now on debut, you'll say, she was beaten by quite some distance in 7 lengths, but the winner won by 6 lengths. So she was close up behind the second placed runner. The form line of that race has been franked with Elemental Force winning, and she had finished just behind Arabian Red. So yeah, last time out, she should have finished a touch closer. She got interfered with on that inside running rail, got very messy, Clyde. A filly that ran onto her runs in the first race, so we'll know how she's done. Wonder I Do.
Yes.
Obviously, if she's won by now, she's franked that form line. So Arabian Red, one of the obvious runners over here. In the bipod, I did back her up with number 1, Perform. Now, I think she has shown some improvement with those blinkers. In her later start, I thought she was unlucky not to have finished closer. She had to switch to the middle of the track. And if you watch that replay, Clyde, she was actually staying on very nicely. I'm hoping Dennis can get her closer to the pace this time around because she appears to be one pace. And you never know, Clyde. She might get first run on the favourite and fend her off. So I am tipping 11 from one over here.
Okay, but you give Perform a chance. So there we go. That means from a place accumulator perspective, the favourite is the right one, Arabian Red, but the Bipods Daryl's already added the one or included the one Perform. Let's take a look at our selections now. It is that PA from Daryl where he's bankering the favourite ahead of no other bankers for the rest of the day. As you can see, 2, 6, 9, then 3, 5 and 7, then 2, 8 and 10, by 1 and 2, race 7, 4 and 6, and the last race 2 and 10, and that's a 216 Rand PA. Third race, this is the Aviator, Betway Aviator Middle Stakes. It's over 1,800 meters. Let's take a look at what the market recommends in race number 3. So you've got an idea on Monday. 3 to 1 about number 4, Destiny of Souls. The 2 Raffles is 9 to 2, and so is number 6, Perfect Witness. We've seen these horses, I think, come together before and get some sort of idea as to where they should finish. There's a horse we like, Scarlet Pimpernel, on the weekend. I beg your pardon, the form anyway from Scarlet Pimpernel, which hasn't been too bad, by the way. We've seen quite, it hasn't worked. It worked out quite well. That horse, House of Romanoff, I Spied. There was another, I think, that ran a place behind it. I can't exactly remember. And that's at the moment, Daryl, is 10 to 1. Give it any sort of claim.
I do.
You do.
A big chance. A big chance, Clyde. There's no doubt his later start is his best to date, and it's the furthest he's been was the 1800, and he showed a lovely turn of foot on that occasion. Yeah. Connections were fairly upbeat in the post-race interview. He's got 50 kilograms to shoulder, Clyde.
Yeah.
He's not well weighted over here. He's a net 95. Now the best weighted happens to be Perfect Witness and ipso facto net 102.
Okay.
So that is 7 pounds 3.5 kilograms.
Yes.
But here's a horse, Clyde. Those fillies and mares are well exposed. Here's a horse that's on the upgrade. So I'm not reading too much into the fact that he's out at the weights. I think he's a major contender here, especially with that weight to shoulder. Now Raffles, you can see he's held by Perfect Witness. And they meet at the same terms, but Raffles tries blinkers again, and blinkers for the first time over a trip, over distance. So I'll give him a chance of reversing the form with Perfect Witness. But I think I found some value over here, Clyde. Now she's well held by Destiny of Souls, but there's several things in my mind that are more favorable. Number 1, she cracks a draw. Terror Time is the one I'm touching on.
Yeah.
Number 6. She cracks a draw. Last time out from a tricky draw, she just over-raced in her second run after layoff. So now Craig can come out softly and get her to settle in running, and hopefully she's got a finishing effort this time around. In her penultimate start, it was a lovely return after a layoff. Have a look at the best weighted column. She's third best in. She's having a peak run from a 1 draw. I think she represents a lot of value. So I'm taking my chances. I've gone with like 2 16 to 1 shots over here. No. What price did you say Scarlet Pimpernel was?
Was 10 to 1.
10 to 1 and Terror Time?
Times 20 to 1.
Okay, so 10 to 1 and 20 to 1.
Well,
and
that's
Raffles.
what we want to see. And Raffles, we added it in.
So those are the 3. I've gone 2, 6 and 9. If I survive this leg, I'll be very happy, Clyde.
This is what are we talking about? Pick 6s, jackpots.
Pick 6s, Bipods, PAs, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's put selections up then, race number 3, and Daryl has worked out a pick 6 for us. It's a 14.58 perm, 2, 6 and 9, and make a note that we've left out the favourite and a couple of other, top of the board type horses that are not in there. So he's taking his chances. 2, 6, 9, by 3, 5, 7, by 2, 8, 10, by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, by 4, 6, 9, by 2, 3 and 10. That's the pick 6. So we're staying, what is this? It's 1,600 meters, all the races around the turn. And this particular event, the 4th race, this being a Betway afternoon, it's the Betway Back the Box handicap. South Africa Island, what's happening this weekend? What are you going to do?
It's not even a question, Clyde.
Is it? I've read a few Tipping Island, eh?
Who?
A few. I've read a few
Give me
blogs.
names.
A few are
Give
Tipping
me
Island.
names. I want to send them
Few
messages.
people are Tipping Island. I
Come
think.
here.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Just
Good.
warning you. Don't. We want the Springboks to
What
win.
price is
I think
Ireland?
Ireland 2-1. I think. Are they? No, can't be. Eh?
Let's have a look.
Have a look. Anyway, don't worry. Let's work it out later. What are we doing in the fourth race now?
For
We'll take
cash,
the
I'll lay
rugby.
you a stretch. Ireland. Win
Really?
cash, yes.
I wonder what the spread is. It's a close game. Primrose Path 22-10. Mr. Midi.
No,
Yes,
leave
leave that.
Primrose. Leave Primrose.
Perilla's second choice 11-2. 5 Duenna. I like it, but 6-1. What have you
She's
got?
6-1.
6-1.
So you're telling me I'm leaving out
Wednesday,
the top two in the betting
you're
here
leaving
as
out
well,
the-
Clark?
again.
Sure.
You're not a favourites person today, obviously.
Yeah, Duenna, nah.
Also like Duenna.
I like the fact that she's back around the bend, Clyde. You can see in her penultimate start on the inside track, she quickened up smartly. And if I'm not mistaken, that's her only start around the bend to date. Unexposed over the distance, I don't think it's going to be of any concern. I think she's going to love it. So a big runner is number 5, Duenna. Clyde, have a look at number 7 over here, Dancing Arabian. Now, she is a 6-year-old mare, but look at her rating. It's plummeted down to a 65 from a 79, and she's 3 kilograms better off with Duenna. Have a look at her course and distance form, Clyde. She's had 6 starts, 2 wins and 2 seconds. If that doesn't tell you that she loves this track and trip, nothing will. So
You say she's
improvement.
come down from a 75 to a
79 to 65.
79.
What price is number 7, Dancing Arabian?
I think 25-1.
There's the value in the
Let me
race.
just double check for you. I'm sure it's 25-1 when I look. Yeah, 25-1.
There's the value in
Dancing
the race.
Arabian.
And then Lady Elliot, I'll give her a chance. Wasn't a bad post-maiden run. It was in open company against the boys. Funky Music's followed up on that victory. She was close up going into the last 100. She just gave away late. She's
Rattlebag
improving.
came from there. Huh?
Yeah, Rattlebag won twice from there.
Yeah.
So 3-5-7. We're looking for a bit of value in this race, Clyde.
All right. Interesting race. Competitive one, but Daryl's found a few shrewdies. So here we go. We've got is it jackpot time? Yeah, let's put the jackpot up. 3, 5, and 7 by 2, 8, and 10 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 by 4, 6, and 9. Welcome back, race 5. Second jackpot time. It's the Betway Boost. It's a handicap and it's over the mile. It's fillies and mares. This event, from a market perspective, we're doing this Wednesday. So for the tomorrow's race meeting, or when you're watching it now, depending what time, this is where Ever on Toast runs. Massive runner, dropping in distance. I like it very much. Priced up at 7-2. I think easy to back. We saw Joe Soma back in business as such an unfortunate incident, but looked so well. So their horses are looking fantastic. I like this a lot. Dropping in the distance.
I don't know what happened with back in business. I mean, we just saw the horse
they're looking
bolted.
into it. They're looking into what happened.
Is there no camera on the back straight or anything
I'm
like
not
that?
sure, but I don't know if it's permanently recorded. I'm not sure. They'll probably have a look at it and we'll get an
Yeah.
outcome from it. But do you like Ever on Toast at all?
Clyde.
Because I think this classic track's going to suit it, and the drop in distance.
Yes, I think the drop in distance at this stage of her career is a positive. I don't know if you saw her move to the start last time out. No, I didn't like her chances because I've stated time and time again that Joey's yard is, excuse me, Clyde, their horses have been, well, his horses have obviously been returning from layoffs, and I don't know they're well been. But if you saw this filly move to the post last time out, and the condition of her coat, she looked absolutely outstanding. And we know that the stable rates are hardy. So coming back in trip, a fitter filly, she could be better than what she's currently
What are the
rated.
dangers? I mean, what are you worried about?
I've backed up with 2 of the matched fillies. Now, number 8, Key Elements. I don't know if you recall the race last time out. She was given a chance. On paper, I thought it was disappointing. But have a look closer to her, Clyde. She gave a decent filly in Silver Sanctuary, 3.5 kilograms. That's a lot of weight for a young filly. She didn't have cover on that occasion. She was exposed on the outside. Felisande knows her extremely well. I'm hoping she can get cover and produce that finishing effort at the end of the race, because she quickened up at the 400 and then she was found wanting. So I do like her chances. And then I don't know if Elemental Force is going to stand her ground, but here's a filly that's only had 2 starts to date. She's stepping up to a mile. She's only got 52 to shoulder. Would I be shocked to see her win? Absolutely not. Would I be shocked to see her run a place? Absolutely not. So I think 2 and 8 are the obvious ones over here. But I have backed them up with number 10, Elemental Force.
Okay, thanks for that. That's a second jackpot from Daryl. We'll put that up now and see how that plays out. Races 5, 6, 7, and 8, 2, 8, and 10 here. By 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. By 4, 6, and 9. By 2, 3, and 10. Race number 6 on the card. This is Betway. We pay your tax on horse racing wins, a handicap over 1,200 meters. Round the turn, remember, it's a classic track. This point in time on the Wednesday, 8 runners that go to the gate. And the favourite, whilst it's still early days, is the one from Stewie Pettigrew stable, Moolah Man, top of the boards at 5 to 2. A few in here with chances. The 5, Dreamland, not out of it, priced up 28, 3 to 1, thereabouts. And the other one is number 3, Mescal, but 4 to 1. Open, a lot of horses. You think you loaded up yet, didn't you?
I did load up, but I do have a clear-cut first choice, Clyde.
Okay.
Let's touch on the pace of the race. Now, there are a few in here that like to get rolling. I think Mescal from a 1 draw will kick forward. Dreamland with the blinkers, he's shown some good pace. Fast Duty, I think he only knows one way of racing now that he at work lost him out, and that's to let him roll from the jump. So I think the pace will be on. Moolah Man, Clyde, fair post maiden. I thought Richard had him in a great spot and he had every opportunity in running. Just didn't quite get there. Now he comes back in trip. With the pace being on in a race like this and cheek pieces being fitted, I think the lightly raced son of Lancaster Bomber could be thereabouts. He's very, very fit now, Clyde. So he's one for the shortlist. But I'm leaning towards number 1 over here, Twice the Storm. In his later start, Clyde, it was on a soft track. I'm hoping that he didn't enjoy the sticky underfoot conditions. Penultimate start was a fair enough effort. Close up shows you that he is off a competitive mark. Now have a look at his form at the classic track, or on the classic track. 3 starts over the course and distance for 2 seconds and a third, and that were races off a higher mark. Or he raced off a higher mark back then, and now he's back down to an 80. He'll enjoy the pace being on. So I'm going to go number 1 ahead of 2 over here, but I've got respect for a few others.
Okay, so you're tipping Sean Terry's stable to win this. Fine, let's take a look at our selections. Race number 6. Daryl tipping Twice the Storm, but it's a pick 3. Twice the Storm's danger is Moolah Man. So 1 and 2 here, by 4, 6 and 9 in the next race. And the last of the pick 3s, 2, 3 and 10. Race 7 is the Betway Money Back Boost. It's a handicap over 1450 meters, the penultimate of the afternoon. And this event, the 3 Scallywag tops the boards. Tony Peters stable 15 to 4. Second choice number 6 Brave Viking, Jay Soma 4 to 1. Those 2 dominating. 7 Funky Music, not out of it for Paul Matchett, also priced up around 4 to 1, 9 to 2. It appears to be there a few in here with chances. I like the way Brave Viking ran last time and got close enough. I mean,
very nice run, Clyde.
Yeah.
Ran above my expectations.
Yes.
And not that I only liked his run, Clyde. I liked the way he moved down to the start. This horse in the past, I've seen him stride much shorter. And I thought in his comeback start last time out, he was actually throwing his legs out. Moving to the start. So I think Joe's found a few niggles. Ironed those niggles out, and he has a horse that's highly, highly regarded by the stable. They've made it clear to the public that he's going to go through the divisions. Clyde, that race was over a mile. I don't think the drop to the 1450 is going to be of any concern.
No, I think it's going to suit him.
Yes. And you know what else I think is going to suit him is Marco. I think Marco can sit very quiet on horse, Clyde. Yes. And he can let this horse build up underneath him. And just punch him out with the hands. I think I certainly can see him winning this event. I'm playing to beat. Who are the top 2? Who's the favourite of your club?
Scallywag.
Scallywag
and Funky Music.
Yeah, I'm playing to beat those 2. I thought Funky Music picked up a quite a substantial penalty in his later start. Scallywag, I think, got £4 for running second. Now, listen to this, Clyde. Go back to the run on the 14th of May, where Free Movement got beat a neck by Scallywag.
Right.
Free Movement is 5 kilograms better off with Scallywag for a neck beating. So I'm
And that's
thinking,
a bit of a runner, isn't it?
okay, I'm thinking that brings him into contention
Yeah,
over here.
yeah.
And I think if you just put a line through his later starts, he's ultra consistent. A filly, is she still a filly?
Who's that?
No, she's a 5-year-old mare. Number 4, with the pace being on over here, Clyde, I think that's going to suit her. I know she's going up in the ratings, but you got Scallywag and you got Funky Music drawn towards the outside. They want to get handy. So I think the pace will be on, and that will suit Wada Honey.
Yeah, she comes from far back, doesn't she?
So she'll get a nice pace to work at, and she'll be doing her best work late. So I've gone for numbers 4, 6, and 9. I'm hoping Brave Viking gets it right. This is yours. I keep on telling you, Clyde, this is yours.
I wish. 4, 6, and 9 for Daryl Marie. Okay, that's what he suggested. Not in that particular order. I don't. It's any one of those 3. But let's take a look at our selections. It's the last double of the day. 4, 6, and 9 here by 2, 3, and 10 in the last. Next time we're at the Vaal is on the following Thursday. They race there again on the 28th. This is a handicap at the 68. It's a 1450 meter event. Final race day before. Market had 2 in a sense. Top of the boards at 33 to 10. 6 Meet the Captain 7 to 2, and 5 Cerulean Dancer is at 15 to 4. It's a kind of race where you want to get quartets, something like that. Open race. Not easy. There are a few with chances. I know you like a couple of outsiders here. Let's talk about it a little bit.
Price on number 10, please, Clyde.
Number 10 written in the sand, 10 to 1. 10 to 1 a win, 18 to 10 a place.
Don't worry about places. We get stuck into the ones over here. Yes.
Oh, you like it to win. Straight up.
Clyde, I'm a bit of a sucker for a draw strike.
Right.
So this horse falls into that category. Last time out, up the excuse me, Clyde and Naya.
Bless you.
Last time out, up the Vaal Straight, the grain was towards the outside on that occasion.
Yes.
She was drawn 1. So I'm willing to put a line through that effort. She didn't have the blinkers fitted, so that's a double line through that. Now, the race is around the bend. She cracks a 1 draw. Have a look at her rating, Clyde. It's absolutely plummeted from a 71 to a 54.
In the 50s.
Fabian's Yard is running extremely well.
Yes.
At the moment. Muzi, from the best draw of a competitive mark, I think she's the filly to beat in an open handicap. Because she is taking on some colts and geldings over here. But I think there is so much in her favour, Clyde. And at 10 to 1, I'm going to say to the viewers, have a nice bet. You'll get a run for your money.
I like the confidence.
In a sense, now, you can see since she returned from a layoff, she's really on the upgrade. Last time out, she ran behind Black Lightning. Now, if you recall, going through the 400, she actually moved in very sweetly. At the 200, she was sitting second, and then she just came up for in the latter stages. So coming back in trip, I think that's going to suit her. From a neat draw, she should be thereabouts. And then another improver in the race could be number 3, Var Park. He's had his 2 comeback starts. He's unexposed over this trip. And you know, a chance ride for Super Sub, they say, hey? Super Sub, Raymond Danielson.
Okay.
Expect improvement from Var Park, but 10 by 2 and 3 for me, Clyde.
There's the other one that you mentioned today. In a sense, I see there's one runner from that form line, Black Lightning. Huh?
Parker Getrix.
Yeah, one runner, one winner.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a big runner in a sense.
But
again.
she has to give quite a bit of weight.
To written in the sand and those horses, right?
7 kilograms.
Okay, well, that's if she can carry the weight to runner, but you've identified a outsider here with a chance, each way chance, number 10, written in the sand. Daryl quite confident, plummeted in the ratings. And there we go. Maybe we can get money in the last race. This is what we're doing in the final. We're taking the swingers and we're boxing them. You may want to triple float them in quartets or something like that. But 2, 3, and 10 is our play for the Vaal. Thank you very much to everybody for joining Betway Weighted to Win. We appreciate all of your assistance. Nao and his team in the back, all the very best. We chat again on the weekend.